The International Criminal Court of Justice has issued a decision accepting Mali's request against Algeria aimed at the destruction of a Malian drone on Malian territory. The Hague, September 19, 2025. On September 16, 2025, Mali filed the International Criminal Court of Justice an introductory motion against Algeria regarding the disputes concerning the alleged destruction by the Defense Forces of Algeria of a reconnaissance drone of the armed forces and security forces of the Republic of Mali during a surveillance mission on Malian territory on the night of March 31st to April 1st, 2025, according to Mali. The hostile act of Algeria within the Malian territory constitutes a manifest violation of the principle of non-use of force and act of aggression. According to the resolution, Resolution 293314 of December 14, 1974 of the United Nations General Assembly, and this in violation of the international law, in particular the fundamental principles of the Charter of the United Nations of June 26, 1946. The Constituent Act of the African Union on July 11, 2000 and of its Non-Aggression and Common Defense Pact signed on January 1st, 2005. Mali intends to base the jurisdiction of the courts. Paragraph 1 of Article 40 of the Statute of Court and Paragraph 5 of the Rule 38 of the Rule of the Court, which provides as follows. When the applicant intends to base the jurisdiction of the court on consent not yet given or expressed by the state against which the application is made, the application is transmitted to that state, which is Algeria. However, if it is not entered in the general role of the court and no procedural act is carried out until the state against which the application is made has accepted the jurisdiction of the court for the purpose of the case. In accordance with paragraph 5 of Article 38 of the Rules of Courts, Mali's request was transmitted to the Algerian government. However, no procedural act will be carried out until Algeria has accepted the jurisdiction of the court in the present case. Algeria has responded. Before I talk about the response of Algeria, I will have to say this. You see, this ruling, right? This whole thing, this whole article, it gives a lot of room for denial. It gives a lot of room for maneuver. It gives a lot of room for maneuver of the rule of law. I don't think this is respectable in my own opinion, because according to the last paragraph, you know, they said that it will be transmitted to the Algerian government. However, no procedural acts will be carried out until Algeria has accepted the jurisdiction of the courts in the present case. So if Algeria does not accept, no procedural act will be carried out. So what type of organization is the International Criminal Court of Justice, ladies and gentlemen? Is it even a respectable organization? We will find out in the response of Algeria. Permit me to present to you the response of Algeria. Algeria responded. On the occasion of the press conference hosted on September 13th, the Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the National Community Abroad, and African Affairs denied the allegation. They denied the allegation of Mali. Faced with this false statement, according to Algeria, the Malian authorities decided to file this request on September 16, as announced today by the statement from the International Criminal Court of Justice. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs notes a striking paradox about the Malian approach. This paradox lies in seeing the Malian junta, which has trampled on legality and constitutional order in its country, worrying about the right it despises. Worrying about the right it despises internally and to which it falsely claims to be attached to internationally. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs also note that this same junta has led Mali to political, economic, and security disaster, that it is itself the instigator of a moral bankruptcy. Our approach to the ICCJ clearly stems from an attempt to instrumentalize this august United Nations judicial body in a desperate attempt to search for a scapegoat that would exempt it from its responsibility in the tragedy it inflicts on broader Mali. The maneuver is too crude to be credible. Algeria will not be complicit in it and denounces its shameless character. Algeria has too high an idea of international law, just as it had deep respect for the ICCJ. It has a duty not to allow them to be the subject of a diversion that is as proven as it is ridiculous. Algeria will notify the ICCJ in a timely manner of its refusal of this maneuvering procedure. Like I said, the whole write-up for the whole, way the ICCJ presents itself has given a sort of maneuverability to whoever you are petitioning to get. But the thing is, if it is a foreign nation that is prosecuting an African nation, right, complaining against an African nation, would it have been this way? So, based on these proceedings, right, in my own opinion, what I can say from this is this, right? Mali filed a complaint against Algeria. Let's be clear on that. Now, the petition was sent to the Foreign Ministry of Algeria, to the government of Algeria, was addressed. So, in my own opinion, the response I am expecting from Algeria is to accept the petition, go to the International Criminal Court of Justice, and defend yourself. Defend the allegation. Prove beyond all reasonable doubt that the drone that was shot down was inside the Algerian border, as Algeria claimed the day the drone was shot down. Algeria claimed that it crossed 2 kilometers into their border. That is the statement. That is what is on ground. All this old human rights, all this old grammar that is here is not needed. And it shows a lot about, it says a lot about the International Criminal Court of Justice itself. The approach of Algeria has proved the ICCJ is not a respectable organization. Yes, I don't know when Mali actually sent this petition. I don't know. But all I know is they presented a case. Now, the petition was filed and it was sent to the Algerian government, of which they are supposed to respond. But looking at the response is supposed to be, okay, prepare a legal team to defend yourself. It's like a court sending an invitation to me and me telling the court, right, I cannot honor this invitation. Does it make any sense? That is what it has just happened. So, in my own opinion, there is no value attached to this name called ICCJ. And in line to that, Bamako has already said before, Nigerian government have already said before that they will be looking to establish a Sahelian court, which in my own opinion, I think is a good idea because of this whole sabotage that we are looking at. This is not the first time Algeria has been shooting down the Malian Barrackta Kinshi drone, in my own opinion. So I feel like, we've already said it before, that addressing this case to whatever organization, in my own opinion, that is still subservient to the United States, these people pick on who and who obeys what rule and who does not need to obey what rule. This is not this is not a credible system that is neutral. This is not a system that works on neutrality. Yes, it is a pro-Western organization, in my own opinion. I might be wrong, right? I stand to be corrected. But I feel like the International Criminal Court of Justice is a pro-Western organization. And to me, if an organization that is supposed to uphold the United Nations justice system, if that is how it works, is pro-Western, I don't think it has any credibility anymore. Now, and I think the Sahel should either way, right? Either Algeria accepts or they reject, as they've now said. I think the Sahel states should improve. The only answer to aggression is deterrence, improving your deterrence capability. I'm seeing the Mali. I've seen the Malian, I've seen their air defense system, I've seen their fighter jets, I've seen their, airborne capabilities, I've seen their, the military capabilities, but I will still continue to say this, right? The Malians, the Sahel needs to learn from this. In my own opinion, they need to learn from this. And they need to look for an ultimate deterrence towards this type of aggression. Maybe they should sign a joint security agreement, a joint defense with Russia, in my own opinion, in such a way that an attack on Mali or any of the Sahel states equals an attack on Russia. Just what Saudi Arabia did with Pakistan. If you attack Saudi Arabia, it means you attack Pakistan. It's as simple as that. As Pakistan is a nuclear power. So I feel like Mali should, Niger, Burkina Faso, they should have this equivalent security agreement with Russia, with China. I feel like they have this capacity. It is in the interest of their government to make this decision. It is not in my interest to teach the Sahel government what to do. Because I feel like if they have this type of agreement, they won't even try it. Algeria will not try it. Because it will mean a corresponding attack to Russia. And we know what it means. So, until you are able to improve your capabilities to the point that you can stand on your own, you need somebody that has enough capabilities to deter your enemy. There's nothing wrong in signing a joint security agreement with somebody that has nuclear capability. You stand under the nuclear umbrella. But, that is not in my own purview to make such decision. But guys, what do you think about what I just said? Does it make any sense? Now let's move forward, right? Bamako, the name of the diplomats that were, expelled from Paris, Batne Oud Coulibaly and Osman Kamara. These were the Malian diplomats that were expelled from Paris. Now, in retaliation, Mali expelled Mr. Antonio Claude Perez, Mr. Benoit Avepaye, Mr. Richard Maxime Koslaga, Mrs. Annie Fontaine, and Mr. Honore Randri Antenana. These are the 5 diplomats that were expelled in an act of, equal reciprocity, mutual reciprocity from Bamako. Now, they've now been expelled. What led to all this is a sort of disputes between Mali and France based on the status of one Lieutenant Ian Vesely, who claims to be a diplomat, but in the same wavelength of being a diplomat, later we are getting information that France also stated that he was not only a diplomat, he was a counter-terrorism operative inside Mali. So it only collaborates with the fact that Mali said he was a DGSE agent. Now, think of it. If you have not gotten a substantial evidence, you can't hold somebody who claimed to be a diplomat. You can't hold them down, right? So it only means that Mali has something, a very huge evidence against Ian Vesili, and that is why Ian Vesili is still in prison till now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question. At this point, at this level, is it possible? Because you can see from the video we posted yesterday, you know, one of the French foreign minister was saying that there is a possibility that in future, you know, Europe and France can still get back to a prosperous and a very respectable relationship with the Sahel AES states. Do you think that is possible at this point? I don't know. You can drop your opinion in the comment section below. It's your boy 72 Android signing out. Enough said. But before I go,